So today I thought it would be really fun, since it's a good day of giving and receiving, and we're all going to feel good today, to do my favorite Pisces. We did this in Aquarius and it really worked out well, looking at certain Pisces that are my personal favorite. This is my own heart's list of personal favorites and their step numbers, because I think a lot of times you can look at a celebrity, you can look at someone in history and look at their step number and their astrology. You can see right away some of these subconscious and conscious themes we're talking about, or I'm teaching about. So first we start with my absolute favorite Pisces of all time. Can you guess who that might be? George Washington. Now, there's a lot of debate about if he's a Pisces or an Aquarius, because he was born in the woods and he was born in the winter and yada, yada, yada. But the more I start to understand this man, the more I believe that this date is correct. And he is a step 2 Pisces. One of the things that makes me believe we have the correct birthday is that step 2 is an emotional Pisces. And from what I understand, this man wrote ranting letters to Congress and was very emotional and moody. So, but brilliant. I'll tell you why. Because this man set the precedent of power and standing down from it, giving up it, leaving it to the next generation to decide. And, you know, not many men have followed in his footsteps. I'll tell you, the CEOs of big corporations like Rupert Murdoch and Viacom and all that sort of thing, they refuse to step down, and they're dying, and they have no other life, and yada, yada, yada. This man here knew in the 1700s that it was the right way for all of us to do better. And I think the right way for all of us to do is the Pisces part of him, his God-knowing truths inside of him. And I think his God-knowing truths are what led him and our entire, you know, what we call the United States. We owe it to this man. I mean, forget the first 2 terms of presidency. We had nobody to organize an army at all. Nobody. Like, it came down to this person. Wanda Sykes, she's also one of my favorites. I love her. She's so funny and spiritually driven, as you can see. A God service provider. You see that 6 in the step 16? She easily gives and receives with God. And that's where a lot of comedy comes, right out of the sky, let me tell you. Very cool Pisces, God service provider, and also, to this day, opening people's hearts and minds to new ideas. Steve Jobs, may he reincarnate in peace, was a step 5 Pisces. So I've talked about it before. The step 5s have this ability to wrap intellect around spiritual connections. So these are creative geniuses. These are usually intellectual geniuses more than creative, but creative intellectuals right in that same line. And he indeed, one of my favorite Pisces, did some amazing stuff on Earth. Albert Einstein, here we go, a step 23. So anything in the 20s is a master, right? And he was 23. 2 plus 3 makes 5. There's that 5 coming in again, the mind wrapping around. Basically, his mind wrapped around his feelings, step 2, and his beliefs working in constant stream together. And then his mind could wrap around those things. So it was that belief in a passionate stream and his Pisces ability, I think, to navigate the higher universe. So you see that in Mr. Einstein. Now check that out. Quincy Jones, also a step 23 Pisces, like Einstein. Now Quincy Jones, if you know about his life, Einstein of music. Do you know how many of today's musicians have been under the wings of this person right here? And they say, you know, a real master is a teacher that puts out masters. And that is this Mr. Quincy Jones. So step 23, another master Pisces and a favorite of mine. And yet, Sir Michael Caine, also a step 23 Pisces, like Einstein as well, right? And this guy, I think his genius is staying employed. This man has been in more films than porno stars. Like, he is the highest numbers in the world. And, you know, it's always Michael Caine, but there's always, but he's really emotionally brilliant. And, like, I don't ever get tired of this man, ever, ever. If he ever walks into a scene, he's absolutely welcome any day of the week. And I think it's that God consciousness, and I think his genius is connecting to people. Now, Sidney Poitier, the first African-American to receive an Oscar, and a genius, if you ever watch older films, brilliant actor. And he was a step 0 Pisces. I point him out too because step 0 is an interesting step. It means you have the ability to create a mirror. When you're step 0, you can create a mirror for others. And I think he absolutely did. I think he also could hide behind that mirror. I think also he could create the right image he wanted on that mirror. So he was more of a magical Pisces than usual. And then, oh my goddess, yes, it's true. It turns out Barbie is a step 18 Pisces. This comes from my research. I'm not kidding. The person who invented it, I don't have her name right here, Ruth Handler, she invented it on March 9th, 1953 and said this is her birthday. So Barbie is an action-based Pisces. And you know, I gotta say, that outfit right there alone, if you know any Pisces, that is totally a Pisces outfit at heart. So I think this is the real Pisces right here. This kind of what today would be known as a raver girl. But like, I don't know, whatever she was then. But she's an image and whatnot. But images and consciousness are held together by the collective conscious, right? Interesting stuff.